So what is data governance? The key component I wanted to make sure we understand is we are what we call data ownership. The ownership is saying who is responsible for the data quality, the use, and security in general. Think about the ownership as, who exactly provide oversight for that data. You own the data. Then data standard, we are talking about for the consistency of your rules in your organization, the formatting, the naming convention. Believe it or not, if you have horrible naming convention, that is enough gap to even start with. Because think about it, even for us, think for a second, if you are looking for data or files in your organization and there's no proper naming convention, you can imagine how confusing that would be for you. Then imagine even the system at the system level. If there's no consistency, there's no appropriate naming convention, then that is going to be a potential problem for you, and it will create chaos. Now, maybe with AI now, it might probably automatically just search the document and help you to figure it out. But prior to AI, it's a disaster. People spend a lot of time. I suspect with AI now, it will probably have a way to kind of make recommendation and automate that process at the moment. But in the past, it's a disaster. If you don't have the right structure of your data, that can mess up the schema or how the data is arranged as a whole. Data security, we can agree, or at the end of the day, we are saying, are we sure we don't have unauthorized access, use, or disclosure, or modification, destruction of your data? So we just want to make sure the security around the data, privacy, we talked about yesterday. This will be specific to the location, the regulation applicable. Privacy is going to be something we cannot just dismiss at the end of the day also. What are the key principles of data governance as a whole? Of course, accountability to make sure we have clear responsibility of who is managing our data. Then transparency of the data. It should be spelled out in the policies and procedures. Then the integrity of the data. Is it accurate? Is it complete? Is it consistent? And this allows you to build trust in general in terms of the data. Data stewardship. Can we all type that word? Now, these are three key roles. Data owners, you own the data, that's easy. Data steward, all right, think as the name implies. You don't own the data, but you are the one in charge of it operationally. You are doing the day-to-day task. Data user is just you and I just using data. We don't care. All the structure, I don't know, I don't care. But the data owner, one, then the data steward. Sometimes it's confusing. I remember some years back, I was just, I went for a leadership role, and the question they asked me was, "What's my take in? What do I think about data owner versus data steward?" That was the question. One of their questions. And I mean, honestly, it's a simple question, but sometimes your brain will freeze too, right? So that was the question, really, one of their questions. So you need to be able to tell them, okay, the data owners, they are responsible for the overall management of the data, mostly someone in leadership. They are the ones setting the policies, ensuring quality, and approve access to their data. The steward, I don't want to use the word subservient, but really steward, like you are the one doing the work for me. You are doing the day-to-day operation of managing my data. You don't form the policy, you just execute. That's it. You execute. The user is just everyday Joe, just doing your work. You don't care about all the story around it. I'm just doing my work. That's easy, right? But at the end of the day, even though you are doing your work, it's still your fiduciary duty to make sure you understand security, privacy around your data at all points. Okay, quick one. Let me ask you. If I ask you, tell me, what do you think? Which one is what? I'm a user of data for day-to-day tasks. Who am I? Just type. All right. Okay. So who am I? I provide strategy and policy around how data is going to be used. All right. So who am I? I execute the policies that are built. Yeah, that's it, really. That's really the gist of it. But make sure you know it because these are the big terms in that space in general. Data owner, the steward, and the owners in general. Okay, cool.